1 in every 5 lottery winners you've heard of has already gone broke. One stroke of good luck turned into a curse for most of them. But not everyone lost it all. A few lucky and smart winners are still enjoying their riches. So who are these rare winners still living rich in 2025? Number 12. Timothy Schultz. The first person we have on this list is Timothy Schultz. This man didn't just win the lottery, he turned it into a career. Back in 1999, when he was working at a gas station in Iowa, he bought a Powerball ticket that would change his life forever. His numbers hit the jackpot for $28 million, and at just 21 years old, Timothy became a millionaire overnight. If it were anyone else instead of Timothy, he would have spiraled. New money, new friends, new life. But Timothy took a different path. Instead of disappearing behind fancy gates, he stayed curious about what happens after the win. Over time, he became a talk show host, podcaster, and a kind of lottery life coach for the newly rich. He interviews other winners on his Lottery Dreams and Nightmares podcast, where they spill what really happens after you go home with the money. Today, in 2025, Timothy still lives comfortably in Colorado. He doesn't show off cars or mansions. His biggest flex is wisdom. He is proof that a lottery win doesn't have to ruin you, if you stay smart. Like Timothy, this next winner is using his wisdom to stay rich. Number 11. Bob Erb. Bob Erb's life changed in 2012 when he won $25 million in Canada's Lotto Max. But instead of spending it all, Bob turned his win into a mission. He donated millions to local charities, helped families in need, and even paid for strangers' dental work. Once, he famously left a $10,000 tip for a struggling restaurant server. A strong advocate for cannabis legalization long before it was popular, Bob used part of his fortune to support reform campaigns. Today, in 2025, he still lives in his hometown of Terrace, British Columbia. Wealthy, yes, but more known for his kindness than his bank account. Number 10. Edwin Castro. Now, if there is one modern lottery winner everyone knows, it's Edwin Castro, the California man who hit the $2.04 billion Powerball jackpot in 2022, the biggest jackpot in U.S. history. When his name went public, the world went crazy, and so did the headlines. He took the lump sum of $997.6 million before taxes, and unlike many before him, he actually handled it well. Instead of vanishing, Edwin became a quiet power player. He bought multiple properties in Los Angeles, including a $25 million Hollywood Hills mansion with a glass elevator, a gym, a theater, and an infinity pool with city views. People online speculated he would burn through it, but Edwin's been surprisingly calm. He invests heavily in real estate and private projects. He hasn't had any public meltdowns, no bad business deals. He is just living large. In 2025, Edwin's still rich, still quiet, and still the guy who pulled off what everyone dreams about: winning billions and keeping your sanity. After the flash of LA, we go to South Dakota. This is Neil's story. Number 9. Neil Wanless. Neil Wanless was a broke cowboy from South Dakota who couldn't even pay his property taxes. In 2009, with barely $15 in his pocket, he bought 5 Powerball tickets, one of which hit for $232.1 million. After taxes, he took home around $88.5 million. At just 23 years old, Neil became one of the youngest lottery winners in America. And what did he do with it? He didn't move to LA or start a luxury brand. He went back to the land. Neil used his winnings to buy thousands of acres, turning his family's small ranch into a massive 32-square-mile operation. He still lives there today, working with horses, raising cattle, and staying out of the spotlight. Locals describe him as humble and hardworking, often seen doing chores like any other rancher. He is still rich, still grounded, and still living like a cowboy with a millionaire's bank account. Neil turned winnings into land. The next winner tried turning millions into a billion. Number 8. Brad Duke. This is Brad Duke's story. In 2005, this fitness instructor from Idaho hit the $220 million Powerball jackpot, taking home $86 million after taxes. Most people would stop there. Not Brad. He created a personal goal, turning that $86 million into $1 billion. Instead of blowing it on luxuries, he built a financial plan. He invested in real estate, oil, gas, and low-risk bonds. He even launched a foundation to support community projects. Nearly 2 decades later, Brad hasn't hit the billion mark yet, but his fortune has grown. He has managed to double his net worth through careful investing. And he's not hiding behind security gates either. He's active in philanthropy, sports, and local business projects. He once said he wanted to prove that you can win the lottery and still win in life. Judging by how financially sharp and focused he still is, he is doing exactly that. Like Brad, this next winner is still rich today because of his smart decisions. Number 7. Peter Lavery. Before his big win, Peter Lavery was just a bus driver in Belfast, Northern Ireland, making £250 a week. Then in 1996, he won the £10.2 million UK National Lottery jackpot, which was around $15.91 million at that time. That's when his entire world flipped. But instead of losing it all, Peter became a businessman, and a smart one at that. He invested in real estate, now owning more than 30 properties across Northern Ireland. And that wasn't all. He also partnered with the Cooley Whiskey Distillery to launch his own brand, Danny Boy Whiskey, inspired by the Irish classic song. Today, Peter's still going strong. He has diversified his investments, turning his winnings into steady income instead of fast fame. The media loves to call him Ireland's luckiest bus driver, but really, Peter's more like Ireland's smartest one. He is living proof that discipline, not just luck, keeps you rich. Number 6. John and Lisa Robinson. Next, we have the smart couple John and Lisa Robinson. They were just an ordinary couple from Munford, Tennessee, until January 2016. That's when they became part of lottery history by winning 1/3 of the record-breaking $1.58 billion Powerball jackpot. Their share came to $528.8 million, and after taxes, they took home around $327.8 million in cash. But what made their story stand out was how normal they stayed. John was a maintenance worker and Lisa worked in a health center. When the numbers hit, they didn't throw a party or rush to the media. In fact, they only revealed their win on NBC's Today Show after getting financial advice. The couple bought a 10-bedroom mansion with a home theater, private lake, and an elaborate outdoor kitchen. But beyond that, they have kept things simple. They helped family, made a few safe investments, and avoided the chaos that usually follows lottery fame. As of 2025, the Robinsons are still living quietly in Tennessee, proving that you can win big and still stay grounded. The Robinsons stayed quiet with their fortune, but the next winner used hers to make noise for a good cause. Number 5. Loryn West. Loryn West's story feels like it was written for a movie. In 2018, this single mom from Iowa had just bought her first home when she stopped at a Casey's convenience store for pizza and drinks. She also grabbed a Powerball ticket. It turned out to be worth $343.9 million, one of the largest jackpots in the state's history. Her share of the $687.8 million Powerball jackpot made headlines. But what she did next made hearts melt. After taxes, Loryn received about $198.1 million. And instead of splurging, she founded the Callum Foundation. She named it after her late grandson. The foundation supports causes like poverty relief, education, and animal welfare. Sure, she bought a few nice things for her family, but most of her wealth went toward helping others. She said she wanted her money to do good long after she's gone. Today, in 2025, Loryn still lives a modest life in Iowa. Her foundation continues to grow, and she remains one of those rare winners who truly turned luck into purpose. Loryn gave back to others. The next winner, on the other hand, built something for himself. Number 4. Jason Fry. Jason Fry's story is what every average guy dreams of. In 2007, he was working hard in Fort Myers, Florida, trying to make ends meet. One day, he spent a few dollars on a Florida lottery ticket and walked away with $47 million. After taxes, his lump sum came to about $14 million, which was still life-changing. At first, Jason did what anyone might do. He celebrated. He treated his friends, took some vacations, and enjoyed the thrill of winning. But when the excitement settled, he started making serious moves. He bought a small golf course and driving range for $50,000 and turned it into a business that now makes hundreds of thousands a year. Then he bought a battery supply business and expanded it into multiple locations across Florida. He He is still the owner today, managing his companies and staying involved in his community. Jason went big in business. The next guy went small but steady and got his freedom. Number 3. Yancey Hicks. Yancey Hicks won the Illinois State Lottery in 2008. After his big win, he didn't go crazy with excitement. Instead, he went back to work at McDonald's the next day. He had just won $1 million, but he didn't want to quit until he had a plan. After a few months of thinking, Yancey finally made his move. He used part of his winnings to buy his dream car and pay for his daughter's college education. Then he used the rest to open up his own Subway restaurant in Chicago. That single decision changed his life forever. Today, the restaurant is thriving, and Yancey is still his own boss. Like Yancey, this next winner went the business route, but in a whole different way. Number 2. Mark Brudenell. Back in 1997, Mark Brudenell from Sunderland, England, won £917,000 in the UK National Lottery. It was around $1.5 million at that time. It wasn't the biggest jackpot by any means, but Mark and his wife Cheryl knew how to make it last. They bought new cars, upgraded their home, and then did something clever. They started a double glazing business, using part of their winnings as startup money. That company is still successful today, bringing in steady income nearly 3 decades later. Number 1. Sue Herdman. Now, if anyone turned a small win into a massive life upgrade, it's Sue Herdman. In 2010, this hairdresser from Herefordshire, England, was told by a tarot reader that wealth was coming her way. She laughed it off until she won £1.2 million in the UK National Lottery not long after. It was around $1.5 million in US dollars. Sue quit her job, sold her salon, and made a crazy decision. She bought a pig farm. At first, it sounded like a wild idea, but Sue knew what she was doing. Her farm grew rapidly and now houses over 7,000 pigs, with around 1,000 piglets born every week. Alright, enough of the rich and happy ones. Let's talk about the disasters. Click now to watch the saddest and most terrifying lottery stories ever. You won't believe what happened to them.